That's where I'm going to be in a couple weeks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to the 2022 Garden State Film Festival, celebrating their 20th anniversary. My name is Ming Chen.
CJ Cullen.
Sophia Haber-Bra.
And I'm here with Father Tom Gibbons, Hollywood Priest, which is screening. When is the screening today?
3:45 today in I think it's the Kingsley Room.
Yeah, Kingsley Room, here at the
So
Berkeley.
here.
Yeah, the Berkeley Hotel.
Okay,
Yes, on the
so-
first floor.
So you don't have to go far.
No.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I got a message from Daniel over at Asbury PR. It's like, hey, Ming and Mike. Mike's not here. I was like, hey guys, can you can you talk to Father Tom? We've made this great feature. We make this great film screening at the Garden State Film Festival. I'm like, absolutely. So here you are. Thank you very much for joining us. Over
Geez,
here.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, can you tell us about Hollywood Priest?
Sure. In 1960, a newly ordained priest Roman Catholic priest named Father Bud Kaiser was transferred to St. Paul the Apostle Church in Los Angeles, right by around UCLA. And if you were Catholic in the 1960s, this is where and in the entertainment industry, that's where you went to church.
Okay,
so,
that was the church.
That was like one of the
okay.
in churches. So like Carol Connor went there,
Okay.
and Brian Keith from the original Parent Trap.
Yes.
And one of the people who was a parishioner of the parish was Joe Connolly, who was the creator of the Leave It to Beaver show.
Okay, yes.
And
Big
the
fan.
Munsters. Yeah.
Yes.
And he saw Father Bud preaching and teaching his classes and says, we should make a TV show with you. And so he started going just in front of the camera and preaching. And then they said, maybe we can do more, have more of an effect by why don't we just make a morality show?
No.
And they started an anthology series like The Twilight Zone,
Right.
except they did it with a little religion, but you didn't have to be, particularly religious to
Yeah.
watch, but just like moral themes. And it ran for 23
Yeah,
years.
what was
and
that called?
It was called Insight.
Inside. Okay, some of you might remember
Some
that.
yes, some of you were. I think I was a little too old for it, but but it ran often on Sunday mornings. It was like often like public access, but it features the biggest stars in Hollywood because Father Bud over time was able to wheel and deal and work with all these great actors. Like he worked with Carol Burnett and Walter Matthau and Martin Sheen and John Amos and Bob Newhart, a whole bunch. I mean, if I'll watch a random episode, which are all up on YouTube right now. I'll watch a random episode and be like, oh, that was Jack Tripper's girlfriend on Three's Company.
Yeah, I
like
remember
just
that
all
episode.
the,
Yeah.
all these people, and you're just like, oh yeah, Magnum PI arrested that guy. And it's just like, so if you like old TV,
Yes.
Insight was, and that's one of the reasons why we made Hollywood Priest, is we just wanted to we were very careful about making a Hollywood film. We wanted to make a Hollywood film with Catholic and not a Catholic film about Hollywood. But
Right.
it still got a lot of good messages inside.
So you had so much material to work with. How
Yeah.
do you focus on that and cut it down and edit it and put it
Oh
together?
man. Well, I think one of the things that helped was who we were able to interview. So it was we actually had just put all the Inside episodes up on YouTube, so
Okay.
people can watch them right now.
Yeah.
Paulist Insight, if you type that into YouTube. And what we're thinking is, wouldn't it be great to have just like some side interviews with some of the actors who
Yeah.
are still around? And frankly, we had to start interviewing soon because some of these actors were going on to their next destination,
Yeah.
shall we say. I think, so we were able to get Martin Sheen did 10 episodes. We talked to him. Bob Newhart lives, a mile away, so we talked to him. And so I think we've tended to focus on the episodes that we put in the film. We focus on the episodes based on the actors we were able to get in touch with. So just to like highlight their work. But like Harvey Korman was in one, and it was just like, it would have been great to talk to Harvey Korman, and so many great people who were in it that we didn't get a chance to talk to.
Yeah, so I read the father worked with all these great entertainers, kind of became one himself. For a production company?
A production company named Paulist Productions. That's the name of the religious order I'm a part
Right,
of.
yeah.
And he started Paulist Productions, which started around Insight. And then when Insight ended in 1983, he had already, he was already kind of a major player in the industry because everybody would say, hey, if you were trying to break in the industry, do an Inside episode for Father Bud.
Right.
And you'll like work with all these great actors and writers and directors of like the Mary Tyler Moore Show and Star Trek.
Right.
You know, all these legendary TV writers and directors.
And that's not really a path you hear of very often. I don't know how often it even happens.
Not too often.
A Roman Catholic priest goes into the entertainment industry, starts his own production company, produces shows and productions.
And then went on to produce movies. So, like, the big movie he's probably known for the most is, if people are familiar with the actor Raul Julia, he did Romero with Raul Julia, and that was Father Bud's production. And Raul Julia, who would have been another great person to interview. Sadly, he passed away in 95. I think it was 95 he passed
50.
away.
He was 50.
Yeah, he had some sort of cancer. Don't say that, because I literally turned 50 today.
Oh,
so don't
happy
say,
birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Yes,
Birthday,
I know. Don't say he passed away. No.
Yeah, you look pretty. You look pretty strong.
Thank you. I appreciate
fine.
that. But he produced that, and then he did another movie about Dorothy Day with if people remember Mandy from The West Wing. So she was in that with Martin Sheen and all these other legendary actors. So Heather Graham was in that movie.
Right.
So he got to work with. He was a. People always said no. He always saw himself as a priest first,
right,
who did producing, but everybody in the industry is like, oh, he's a real producer. You don't mess with Father Bud.
Right, right. He's just he was also a man of God as well. So,
oh yes,
a second reason not to mess with him. But
right.
Yeah, for sure. How long has this project been in the works?
I think we started doing the interviews for the web series, and I guess we started that in like 2018. And then as we were talking to all the actors, we were kind of like, I think this is a documentary about Bud's life, because Father Bud also wrote this great autobiography in which he falls in love with a nun, and he's got to decide if he's going to stay in the priesthood. And then he goes to famine-stricken Africa in 1980 and is one of the people who really makes people aware, like even before USA for Africa and all that, Father Bud was over there saying, hey, we need to do something about this. But I'm sorry, I got off topic a little bit, but we're doing all these interviews. We're kind of thinking, there's a larger documentary here. So, and then I think just like your previous guests, we had assembled all the footage, and then I'd kind of put together kind of like a rough cut-ish, showed some film festivals, and then March 2020, pandemic. So it was just like, I have to stay in a room with me and my MacBook Pro.
Right, and all this footage.
And
it's almost it was a rough time. It was almost kind of a blessing that you had.
I sometimes have a little survivor's guilt, because I know how challenging and how awful the pandemic was for so many people. But for me, it was like it kind of worked out, so try to just do something positive in the world with it. So, and then one of the people who would go to our parish is George Newborn, who's the voice of Superman.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was he was like, oh yeah, if you need any narration work, let me know. And he's the narrator of the film. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got George Newborn.
I got Superman.
It's crazy.
These Superman to narrate my film.
Yep.
That's amazing. And what do you remember? When did you complete it?
We had our world premiere at the Dances with Films Film Festival in September. This is the East Coast premiere. What? Have you been to that one?
Well, the student films.
The student films. Oh, nice. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Good festival.
Oh, it's a great festival. So it's like we had our premiere at the Chinese theaters.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like not a bad place to start, but
not everyone gets to premiere.
No, not at all.
Robin's Chinese Theater.
So we got a big bus, and we just brought everybody from our church over, and we kind of filled the theater up. And but this is really special for me because I am from New Jersey. I grew up in Long Valley, New Jersey, and so I'm a huge Springsteen fan, and I can't believe I'm in Asbury Park. I can't think of a better place to have our East Coast premiere. We've been doing a lot of West Coast festivals. This is our East Coast premiere, and we're so excited to be here.
Madame Marie's is down the street.
Oh my gosh! Oh yes. Well, I brought my father.
Little representation.
If you could hold on to that, So this is. I felt like I had to represent. So St. Peter's, go Peacocks.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about. Man, we didn't even think they were going to win last night. Man alive! Yeah.
They're still going.
The Elite Eight.
amazing.
was there divine intervention? We can't.
We
say
don't
for
know.
sure,
Hey,
but-
it's a Catholic school, so I feel somewhat responsible to bring one of these.
Purdue, maybe not so holy.
No. The too many chickens. Too many
Right.
chicken.
That's for sure. So you're here from Jersey then, which is amazing.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you? It was like, oh, but Garden State wants you to screen the film.
Oh
here.
my goodness. I met Heather Scanlon at the Newport Beach Film Festival.
Okay, yes.
And we were just like talking one of the other great films here, Coogan's Way.
Yep.
Because one of the owners of Coogan's Bar is actually the brother of Apollo's father. So we've become great friends,
Right.
so it's all together,
Small
small world. It is. And so I met Heather and she was like, "Oh, I was born in Morristown. You were born in Morristown." And we were talking about which film festivals to come out to and would love to come out to here. So
Yeah, the Jersey connections are strong. My
very
friends.
strong, very strong. I got to come back to this.
And it's your birthday. That's great. It's like a great birthday celebration.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I literally couldn't believe when I was just like, oh, my 50th, because my friends are like, know how like Springsteen obsessed I am.
Yeah.
They're like, you're celebrating your 50th birthday. How did you organize that? I'm like, that was totally God.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that. I just said,
Maybe he'll come by and jump on a stage.
you know what? I tried rattling. We're having a little party afterwards. My sister's throwing me a post-party birthday party.
I saw that. Is it over at Seahorse
It's
after
over
the
at
screening?
Seahorse,
Okay,
yes.
yeah. No, I got all
It's
the
over at
info.
Seahorse,
So
yes.
come on.
Okay.
I think it starts at 6. We may be able to roll over.
Okay.
I think,
Hey.
so.
All right.
Yeah, I mean it's your birthday. We gotta,
Yeah, exactly. So that's gonna be fun. So no, I just couldn't believe all the stars aligned, and God gave me a great present and with a great present with great family. Who my sisters, both of them are helping me out with this, and it's all
That's
great
amazing.
stuff.
I think a lot of people don't realize that your favorite entertainers. A lot of them do. They practice whatever religion.
Yep.
The Roman Catholic faith, which I'm a part of. So I lived in LA for a year.
Oh yeah.
And I would go every Sunday.
No, which church you go to?
I went to St. Mary's or St. Monica's.
Oh yeah, St. Monica's. Yeah, Santa Monica. Yes.
They went in Santa Monica.
Yep.
And they were great. They had a little LA flavor in there. So
Yes, they do.
If you
Yes,
went
they
to
do.
the right service, you would get a rock band instead of a choir.
Right.
It was
Right.
great. And I remember one day I was leaving church and I look over. I was like, man, that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That guy's way too short to be him.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, it was Arnold. The Governor was before he was governor, but it was 2001, so it was right before. Mm-hmm. He wasn't at church himself per se. He was picking up his kids from Sunday school.
I gotcha. Yep.
That's when he was still married to Maria, who of course is very Catholic.
Very much so. Yes.
And in a church environment, it's like, I'm just going to say hi to him.
Yeah.
We're at church. What's the worst
Sure.
that could happen? And he shook my hand. He's like, nice to meet you, Ming.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
And if you do have to go out to LA and you practice any a religion, you may see some stars.
It's very
there.
true. Very true.
Or your priest may also run a production company.
Yeah, it's a crazy place.
Or your priest may be a filmmaker or an entertainer. So which is really amazing. So, are you working on anything next, or?
Yeah, we're working on two films. One of them is a great. This is more of our production company, not me so much, but working on a film about military chaplains and who have seen combat. So, and it's like all these chaplains who are on the front lines of all different faith traditions. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, and it's really kind of like a fascinating look at all these. And then we're also doing another one, and this one's a little bit, people in California really know this, is with all the discussions of like all the racial discussions we've been having over the last 2 years, we really want to say, well, what's like the Catholic, what are the Catholics feeling of this? So in California, one of the big debates is, should the statues of Junipero Serra, the Franciscan friar who came over in the 1700s and helped colonize Spain, a lot of Native Americans have been very upset with the legacy of Serra. So, but a lot of Catholics like his sainthood. So it's like, I think it's like we're looking at that whole question in a way that doesn't try to defend Serra or attack Serra, but it's like, hey, let's just stop and let's just everybody, let's just come to the same table and talk with one another. We need, instead of having all these surface arguments, let's really get into it and see how we can move forward.
Moments of division and
I got too many of our debates. I say it's like we take on like a Miller Lite style of debate where everyone's just yelling, "Tastes great, less filling."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's fun in the beginning, but how are we all going to move forward and how are we all going to grow together?
There are many casualties in that war, in that battle of tastes great, less filling.
Yes.
Let's not go back to that.
Exactly.
I'm going to put something up on screen here. This is a promo image I saw today.
Yes.
Which is the famous Garden State exit sign, Hollywood Priest, and the screening time of 3:45.
Well, I'm gonna brag a little bit. So when I found out I got into the Garden State Film Festival, I just geeked out on Photoshop and did all these like
promo
images of Jersey centric. So I've got like a picture of Father Bud, a picture of Tilly, and then the Garden State logo. So I just really nerded out because it's like my first concert was Bon Jovi and Skid Row in 1989 at Brendan Byrne Arena. Brendan Byrne Arena, R.I.P.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing. Is there a website? Is there?
Yes.
Okay.
HollywoodPriest.com. Definitely visit HollywoodPriest.com if you'd like to financially support the movie. Also, we're going to be doing a lot of virtual screenings in the next couple of months, partnering with different organizations and kind of using it as a fundraiser. And then we're also having some really good talks with SoCal PBS, and that is probably going to broadcast Southern California PBS this summer. And then hopefully from there, we go national. So
and get some East Coast. Screen.
We need some, absolutely. Yeah. I definitely want to talk to NJPBS 13. Definitely love to have those conversations.
Yeah, what we got today is at 3:45 in the Kingsley Ballroom.
3:45.
Right here at the beautiful Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel.
Amen.
Amen to that. Amen. Thank you so much for joining us and sitting down for sure.
Absolutely.
HollywoodPriest.com. And we can't wait to see it for sure. And if you watching or if anyone within earshot, or near Asbury Park, come down. You can get a ticket for an individual screening.
Absolutely.
You don't need the whole weekend.
There are 98 tickets left, so I think you'll be all right. We've had a good selling, but we still have some more to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely come on down and check it out.
Yeah, and there are films rolling all this weekend. So
a lot of great films. Yeah. A lot of great films.
So go to gsff.org for tickets and info, and meet some incredible filmmakers as well. So and real quick, as you mentioned. You mentioned something why I love film festivals. You said you met Heather all the way in Newport Beach.
Oh yeah,
Heather Scanlon is over here, but this is how we network. Like, you're from Jersey, I'm from Jersey.
Right.
We need your film here, and here you are in the home of Bruce Springsteen.
And I think one of your next interviews is someone that I went to high school with.
Really?
We bumped into each other. We hadn't seen each other in 30 years,
crap.
and we're like, oh my gosh, you're here.
Amazing.
So, and you're from like a really small town in New Jersey that no one's heard of. So it's all good.
I love it. Father Tom, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Great luck
great.
with the film.
Good luck to St. Peter's.
Oh, yes. Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
Go Peacocks.
Go Peacocks.
Go Peacocks. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.